Hello, welcome. This is Shehzad Iqbal English Academy, and hope you will be fine. With today's topic, Hamlet, the play written by William Shakespeare. In this video, we will discuss characters, summary story, theme of it, and soliloquy, 7 soliloquies. First of all, characters. The play Hamlet is the longest play of William Shakespeare. And this is one of the tragedies of Shakespeare, which is worldwide read and played. It is liked by everyone. It was staged in 1601 or 1602. It means it was the time of Queen Elizabeth. Okay, characters. There are several characters. Hamlet is the main character of this play. Hamlet is the hero of this play. He is trying to avenge his father in this play, how I'm telling you. Secondly, Claudius is there. Claudius is the uncle of Hamlet, who had killed his father, and he is the king of Denmark. Gertrude, who is the queen of Denmark, wife of Claudius and mother of Hamlet. Next is ghost of Hamlet's father, who had been killed. By whom? I'm telling you. Next is Polonius. Polonius is the chief counselor of Claudius, the right hand of him. In each and every situation they talk about different things. He had two children, Ophelia and Laertes. Ophelia is the daughter who is the love interest of Hamlet. To some extent we can say that Hamlet had interest in her. Laertes, after the death of Polonius, he had become the counselor and the chief villain against Hamlet. Then we have a friend of Hamlet, Horatio, loyal friend, the confidant, and a fast friend of Hamlet. Hamlet shares everything with him. Then we have Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, two friends of Hamlet, not first friend but friends. Actually, they work for Claudius, how I'm telling you. Then we have Fortinbras, the prince of Navarre, and we have supposed character Gonzago in this play. Okay, starting with Act 1. When Act 1 starts or the play begins, so we see some courtiers. They were talking about a ghost. That ghost resembles Hamlet's father, who had been killed, and they were talking that he was actually the father of Hamlet. Then Horatio also sees that a ghost when he comes from Germany, where he had gone to have some education. So the courtiers and Horatio told Hamlet about the ghost. He waits for the night. When the night comes, and he also meets the ghost of his father. That ghost tells Hamlet to avenge him, to take revenge of him. He tells that Claudius has killed him. He tells him how Claudius has killed while he was sleeping. So Claudius had poured poison in his ear, and he was killed. And he also told that his mother Gertrude got married immediately after death. It means everything, they both were involved in that murder. After hearing this, he was confused. But to get closer to the fact, he was acting like a confused person. To get closer to the fact, and you can say, like when someone is crazy, so we tell everything about the world, about everything. So that's why he was acting like crazy. Ophelia was also she was too much worried about Hamlet, that how she was acting like that. After this, we see that Claudius calls upon Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, the friends of Hamlet, and he gives him a task to find out the madness, the reason behind the madness of Hamlet. While they come to Hamlet, they meet some actors on the way, and they tell Hamlet that they meet some actors. With this idea, Another Hamlet has hit upon an idea, and that is an idea to stage a play just like similar to the death of his father and uncle. So in Act 2 at the end, they decide to have a play in front of Claudius and Gertrude, his mother. At this in Act 3, Polonius compels his own daughter Ophelia to return all love letter to Hamlet, who had been sent by Hamlet to one another. When she goes and hands over those letters, so he didn't mind, and he shows that actually that madness was not due to her love. Okay, the play begins. Gonzago, the main character of that play. There was Claudius, and with Claudius there was sitting Gertrude, the wife of. On the right side there was Hamlet. Hamlet was looking at them and he was laughing. Gertrude became too much confused and angry, but he was too much confused, more confused than her. Claudius was looking at them when he sees that one brother puts poison in the ear of his own brother and he kills. So at that time he becomes too much confused. He rises from his seat and throws the glass of wine on the floor. At that time Hamlet understands that actually his father was killed by him, and it is not like it's not a fairy tale, it's fact that it was killed. Act 4. Claudius thinks, okay, no. In Act 3, when the play is ended, so Gertrude calls upon Hamlet to his own chamber. On the way, when he goes to her chamber, he sees that his uncle Claudius was offering prayer. That time he could kill, but he didn't, because he at that time there was soliloquy that if I kill him, so his soul would straight away go to heaven, which I don't like, and my father's ghost, or you can say soul, is wandering here and there. Then he goes there. There is a fight between Gertrude and Hamlet behind the curtain in a room. When she cries for help, so he listens someone is hiding, so he steps. He thinks that it is Claudius, but actually it was Polonius, and Polonius is killed at that time. It was the end of Act 3. Act 4, Claudius tries to send him to England with a sealed letter. In that sealed letter, he had written that Hamlet should be killed on immediate basis, and that letter was addressed to the King of England. But meanwhile, he deceives his own friends and comes back to Denmark. After seeing Claudius Hamlet, he was once again got confused that what happened there. So now he is planning another thing. He had planned another thing, and that was the planning of to have a fencing match. Fencing match means to have a sword match between Laertes and Hamlet. Actually, the king had told him that his father Polonius was killed by Hamlet. So he was telling Laertes to have avenge, to have the revenge of his own father. So there was a fencing match between him. So what he had done, he had a tipped poison on the sword of Laertes. So with a minor cut, Hamlet could kill. And on the other hand, he had some poisoned wine. If at that case, if Hamlet had won, so as a reward he would present that wine and he would be killed. Act 5. In Act 5, Horatio and Hamlet at Ophelia's graveyard are there. At that time, Laertes come, they fight. But actually, the match begins in the court when at one side there is Gertrude, there is Laertes, and some courtiers are there. They are fighting. When they fight, so Gertrude didn't know, or I misunderstanding it was she drinks the wine, that poisoned wine, and she dies. At that time, Laertes gave a cut to Hamlet, and Hamlet understands that it was actually poisoned one, and he doesn't feel good. So he snatches the sword of Laertes, kills Laertes, and kills Claudius as well. There was only Horatio who was left. Horatio was left and was told to tell everything to the Prince of Norway. The name of it was Fortinbras, and he comes, he takes the throne because the family of Denmark had been finished. He gave a funeral to Hamlet and gives tribute as well. That was the whole theme. The theme of it, there are several themes. Number one, the theme of it is to have avenge the blood relation, like father. Second theme of it, our surroundings. Everywhere there is greed. For greed, a person can kill his own brother. A wife can kill her own husband. So that is a greed around us. Thirdly, Shakespeare has targeted the system of Elizabethan court. At that time, everyone was doubting another one. Everyone was looking at another one. Everyone was making a case at another one. So actually he has targeted that one. It was a religious play as well, because Hamlet sees his own father who was offering prayer, and at that time he could kill, but he didn't, because he was thinking that if he killed him at that time, his soul would straight away go to heaven, which he didn't like. So that was a religious play as well. Okay, now soliloquy. You know, soliloquy means when a person talks to himself. When you talk to yourself, that is soliloquy. So what is the purpose of soliloquy in a play? Actually, it was to tell the audience about the play, about the theme, about the content, about the character, because in the old time there was no curtain, there was no screen. So that's why a character would come and he would tell something, that was soliloquy. But actually Hamlet's soliloquy are famous all over the world because it has its own, you can say, bet. There are 7 soliloquy. We are discussing it one by one. Act 1, Scene 2. When Hamlet says that this too solid flesh would melt, it means how disgusted he was at her mother's marriage. When she gets married, so he says these words. Soliloquy 2, Act 1, Scene 5. When after meeting Ghost and he commits to avenge his own father. So he talks about how to take revenge of his own father. That is in Act 1, Scene 5. Soliloquy 3, Act 2, Scene 2, where Hamlet feels guilty for not taking revenge, and he has no opportunity to kill his own father, or even we can say he has no opportunity to get closer to the fact that whether it was killed by his own father or not. Soliloquy 4, Act 3, Scene 1, to be or not to be is the question. Whether I should do or not, whether I should die or live, whether I should take or not. And this you can say like where Hamlet thinks about the conflict between passion and reason. Okay, Soliloquy 5, Act 3, Scene 2. It's now the very witching time of night. At that time, when he goes to the chamber of his own mother, Gertrude. So he was thinking that it was a witching time. It was a time of, you can say, like very beautiful, because he thought that he would kill his own father, or you can say uncle. When he goes there, so in same Act 3, that is Soliloquy 6, Act 3, Scene 3, prayer scene is there, when his own father was doing or offering his prayer. So at that time he didn't want to kill. So there was another soliloquy that I'm not killing you because your soul would go away, would go to heaven. Last soliloquy, number 7, Act 4, Scene 4, where Hamlet thinks that he cannot revenge even with the great cause. These were the contents of the whole play. As a whole, Shakespeare Hamlet play is one of the best plays among not only Shakespeare, among others. So if you like this video, if you find out helpful, to please share with your friends. Thank you so much for watching this. Allah Hafiz.